Discipline, again, very few people have. I'm sure all of you have that here because you're here, so that's all good. It takes a shitload of accountability. It takes alignment and consistency. But what do you align to? You have to align that to your brand foundation. If you don't know what to align and what to be consistent with, then you can't have alignment and consistency. You can't just align and be consistent with the clouds. It takes an extraordinary promise delivery system, and I'll talk more about what that means today. And it also takes a shitload of course corrections. However, again, you need to know what to course correct to and from in order to course correct. So a lot of people don't make course corrections because they don't know what to course correct towards. And it takes the ability to bust the #1 objection that people have all the time. What is that? What is that first objection? Correct. I don't have the money right now. That is the #1 objection. And I will tell you, how many people have missed a sale or did not get a project because they've heard, I don't have the budget right now? I mean, we've all experienced that. Whether it's a service, whether it's an online product, it doesn't matter. I hear that all the time. How many projects did I lose because someone went to Bob's uncle or Bob's nephew because they had a PC and they could do it? Yes, you know? And then I always say, yeah, please go and then come crying to mama later. And then I'll charge you double, and then, you know, we'll all be happy but you. Now, that changed when I understood this. It is never about the money. If someone tells you, oh, I don't have the money right now, and I don't care for what reason they say that, like whether it's a product or a service, it doesn't matter. It is never about the money. It is always about them not seeing the value that you are giving them for the money. And they might not know that. And I've got thousands of examples that prove this. And one of them is a trainer was training a guy, wanted to train a guy for his wedding. He was out of shape. And the guy needed 6 months and $6,000 to actually get his ass into his tux for his wedding. And for, you know, to have his beautiful bride happy. The moment he learned the price, because he was totally gung-ho, but the moment he learned about the price, oh, different story. Oh, well, you know, right now might not be a good time. Thinking, shit, how much of a better time can you wait for? I mean, you're getting married now and you need to fit in that tux. So he blamed it on money. Yet, thanks to Facebook, a few weeks later, she found out that he bought a $10,000 entertainment system, right? People buy what they want, not what they need. And you could kill yourself telling people that they need this. Especially financially, right? Exactly. They need this, but you can't go with that angle. So it is never about the money. Brutal fact, perception is reality in branding. In fact, in any so what does that mean? Perception is reality. Well, it means that if you think you're pink and the world sees you as blue, I'm sorry, but you're blue. And you could freak out and do whatever you want. If they see you as blue, you're blue. And that is huge in branding. It is massive. And the goal in branding is to actually have the perception match exactly the reality. And when you have that, you have gold. When you have that great alignment, you have gold. Branding is not an event. Branding is not marketing, and branding is not a logo. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's not an event. Why? Because things change all the time. I hear this, I'm branding right now, or I'm rebranding right now. Okay, maybe there's a bulk of activity that is being placed into one area of your business, but mainly when people say that I'm branding right now or rebranding right now, what they mean is I'm redoing my website or I'm changing the look of my logo. A logo means nothing, unless, of course, the company behind the logo means something to you. Let me tell you a little story about when I first moved to Vancouver. I went to Denny's, first mistake. And I had a 9-day food poisoning. Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Now, they could gold plate their logo all I care. When I think about that logo, I have like a surcharge of saliva coming on. So the look of a logo is merely a trigger to remind these people how they feel about you. Do they love you? Do they not love you? It is better to not be loved than be ignored. It is better to be loved, of course. I'm never going to, say, piss people off. In fact, it is a principle at LeapZone. If you're not pissing someone off ever, you're not innovating. But that's a whole different ballgame. So, and it's not marketing either. Marketing are the actions in which you take in order to spread the word. Branding is about understanding what the hell the word is to be spread, right? So, let's move on. I've got lots to say, so I'm just going to move on from this. Branding. So now you know what branding is not? Branding is this. Branding is the conversation people have about you when you're not in the room. How you leave people feeling is about branding. Branding is what people feel when they hear your company name or see your product. Again, that Denny's logo, right? Or if I say the word Volvo, what is the first word that comes to mind?
Safety.
Safety, correct. I was going to say other than boring, because sometimes people say boring. Other than boring, safety. That ain't no fluke. They worked hard for that. Branding is being crystal clear about who you are, what makes you different and viable. It's about what problems you solve and how is your business or your product, your service, making life better. When I heard about your company, Andrea, right? You remember a few weeks ago, right? I went, that is cool. She comes in, cleans your house, bakes a few goods. I come home. No, I'm not working with her yet. But I would come home and actually have baked goods and my house is clean. I never have thought of those two mixes together, right? So how is your business making life better? That question alone gets people to innovate quite well. Branding is about being crystal clear of who you are best suited to help, who wants and values what you have to offer. I didn't put the word need there because people don't buy what they need, unfortunately.